Is up. Welcome to At Our Table. I'm Danny.
And I am Sammy. And at our table, we speak about the hot topics that are relevant to your life, to our life, and to the world around us. But most importantly, at our table, we
don't judge. So, how this works every week is we have a glass case here with a whole bunch of random questions that we come up with throughout our week, whether we're driving, eating, whatever it may be, and we put them in this glass case. And every video, we choose one and we just talk. So, without further ado, Sammy, be our guest.
All right. Second topic. Choose.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's see. When did you realize you were growing up?
Let's talk. Okay. Growing up. That topic hits home. When did you realize you were growing up?
I think I'm still kind of realizing this year,
all right,
especially this year, from like April to now, it's been a process of constantly like, oh, I'm grown up. When did, I don't know when you did. When did?
Let's talk. I think, realistically, growing up is a series of events that you do for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think, I don't necessarily always, okay, there's some weeks where I'm like, my life is falling apart, I'm going to be the worst adult. But then there's other weeks where it's like, all right, maybe I got this. Like, I can do this. And so I think,
on my side.
I think growing up for me has been a series of events that led me to then think, okay, maybe I am growing up. Yeah. For example, one event that led me to, grow up. Last year, I got a job at Chick-fil-A.
I remember that.
Great company, great chicken, great food.
Yeah.
I think we might have that for lunch today. That being said, when I got my first paycheck, I realized that my parents cut me off. And so, if I wanted to go out with friends, I had to pay for it. If I wanted to buy something, I had to pay for it. If I didn't have the money to do something or get something that I wanted, I wasn't either doing it or I wasn't getting it. At the time, I didn't have financial responsibility. My parents were not telling me, oh, pay this within the house, or like, I didn't have anything to tie me down. Now, I have a car. Insurance is expensive.
Heck yeah.
And so, now when I have kind of insurance to pay or a phone bill to pay, which is minor costs in the house, but it's still a burden that you need to make sure that every month you have that money. Okay, that's when I've also realized I'm growing up. Another time that I realized I'm growing up, this week. This week I got a ticket, my very first ticket, and I have to pay $150. And so I'm realizing the pain that I'm growing up because I don't want to pay them $150. So now, you know when I realize I'm growing up? Because now I'm calling Ticket Clinic or like other places to see if I can like lower the cost of what I have
to make fun of that because it was such a weird comparison.
And now I'm calling them. I need to see because I don't want to pay $150.
Right.
It wasn't my fault.
Right.
It was not.
Yeah, no, and I say that like my period growing up is still kind of being realized because in April I graduated from high school and from college at the same time. I got my AA. And when I went to orientation after that, to college orientation, I saw there was people kind of like just beginning this college experience when I had already had 2 years, and they were just throwing me into my major and classes of my major. So it was very like, oh Jesus, I'm super advanced, but not only I'm super advanced like yay, but I'm super advanced like, oh no, I have to like know what I have to do for the rest of my life like now. And I'm only 18. I was only 18 at the time. And it was summertime. Summertime was coming, so it was kind of like everyone was calling it like the final summer. You know, that summer after high school is like the final summer. It's the final times to get into a relationship with someone and to fall in love, whatever. And I was in the process of that. I got infatuated with someone. And that summer for me,
I did not approve of her.
That summer for me,
didn't even like her.
That summer for me,
no tea, no shade, but like
that summer for me was very focused on things that I was just like stressed about everything. I was like, if I don't get this right now, my future's gonna be a mess. My future's gonna be a massive mess. And into the summer, I get kicked out from college.
Not on your terms. Not because of you. He is not dumb, I promise.
No, not because of myself, right? I start summer at my college at FIU, and I couldn't pay this money. And yes, it was kind of my responsibility. No, it was my responsibility. I couldn't pay the money.
Nah, it was a financial aid issue. Nobody's looking to pay college. if college can be paid for you, nobody wants to pay.
So I couldn't pay, and so they had to obviously remove me from the program at the time.
They're lost.
They extended me till January, so I started in January. But again, once I got kicked out, I realized I got kicked out of college. I need to grow up. What am I gonna do? If this is not for me, my life is gonna be a mess.
And now that you're talking about college, I think between the age of maybe schools nowadays like pressure when you're like in like kindergarten, but like 16, maybe 17, 18, like 19, like that kind of period where you're getting into college, or like you're figuring out your grades and like trying to get into the college. And when you finally start college, you have this like burden or like this fear of like, if I don't get it right, I have no future or there's no success for me. And I think that was me. And I think that being said, I think that there's like this stigma of like, if I don't get it right and that I have no future, is such a toll, takes such a toll on your mental state, your emotional state, sometimes even your physical state. When you're not realizing that maybe if you don't get it right, there's plan B. Maybe there's ways around it.
No, and you get close, definitely. From someone that experienced it. Again, after I get kicked out of college, so much is going on in my life. We're taking trips to we took two trips to Dallas, or at least I took 2 trips to Dallas. We were going everywhere, and then everything kind of dialed off, right? But then once everybody started to get back to school, once school season was again starting up in August, like at the end of August, I felt so terrible because I realized that if I am not studying, and I didn't have a job at the time, and if I'm not working, then who am I? You know?
Yeah.
Because that's what so many of us are identifying as with.
Yeah.
You know, school and work and constantly being busy, because that's what culture is trying to tell us. That if we're not busy, we're not anybody. And that for me, that just took a huge toll. Huge.
You know what else I realized growing up? Christmas. Christmas. You know why? Because I grew up. Call me privileged. I don't think it was privilege. I just didn't think my parents worked for Christmas, and my family, I have a big family, so everybody kind of gave us a little gift, whether it was a $10, $5, $50 gift. As a kid, you don't know the price of the gift. You just see you have a lot of gifts.
Yeah, you used to get like Lego sets.
Yeah, for Christmas. And like, trust me, I grew up poor for a good part of my life, and my mom would literally spend $20 at the dollar store. She'd get me $21 gifts. You get me? But you saw 20 gifts. So you see this abundance of gifts. And then I would say like at 16, 17, I realized that those gifts started dying down. They became gift cards. Then they just became cards. And so I still haven't reached the phase where I've gotten like ties or socks or like underwear.
Oh my God.
I would cry.
There is that phase. Oh.
There is. But Christmas showed me I'm not a little kid anymore.
Right. No, definitely. And again, going back to kind of like my situation, I feel like I had the pressure of so many people around me telling me to grow up and grow up and grow up. But I just didn't know how. I didn't know how to grow up. And I did end up getting a job. But I only worked, as he knows, for a week. And after
he was their best employee.
A week and 2 days. I worked for a week and 2 days. After that, I was just like, this is not for me. Because it was a factory job.
But it was like abuse. Like, it was a lot of hours.
Right, making dulce de leche. I was working 12 hours a shift.
Caramel
a day.
For my non-Hispanic folks.
Caramel spread. Let's put it in English terms. And I was working 12 hours a day. The pay was good.
But they didn't ask you, like, how much you were willing to work.
Right.
They just kind of put those hours upon you.
And then...
They didn't respect your schedule either.
I only had 30 minutes of lunchtime, and so I quit that job. But regardless, I got that job as kind of like showing my surrounding, the people that were telling me to grow up, that I was kind of growing up. So I didn't get it for me, I got it for them.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that I was suffering there, and my mental health was just like
trying to grow
at the super low, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna quit. And I quit, and it's been 2 weeks and a half at this, and as you said, I have found other options. There are other options to not going to school or not having work. You know, you have things to do, because we live in a world where there's, again, people are so busy that you can get busy.
Guys, we had a very real interruption. David came, he got home, he dropped the light. ¿Verdad? Se cayó la luz. ¿Por qué?
Porque estoy comiendo manzana.
That's why, precisely.
That's why.
And so without further ado, if you guys like this video, if you guys like this topic, let us know, leave us a comment. Also, like this video, and also, in the comment section, we need this, we need this, we need this. these topics will run out. So let us know in the comment section other topics or world news or current events that you guys want us to talk about. And without further ado, you guys can follow me on Instagram. I'm at BraccoOfficial, and you are?
I'm at Samuel Reval with 2 L's at the end.
And give us a little follow, like us up. Without further ado, see you guys later. Bye.